Hey everybody. Welcome. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat, but welcome to another round of Canje Plays. And I'm excited today to be back streaming live. I've missed you all. And so while I'm spiking really high. Let me lower that down. There we go. All right. Yeah, I was spiking really high just now. So let me scroll that. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So it's been a while. I've been doing the VOD releases because I've had a lot of stuff going on preparing for Gen Con, having conversations with Steve about Marvel Legendary, looking at pictures of seals jumping on boats, running away from killer whales with great voiceover added. Just, mass hysteria. I've been just super busy with just getting ready for Gen Con, basically, and making sure everything is set, my son's squared away, and all that. And I am so happy to be back, and I'm happy to introduce you all to this game. Steve, I told Steve this, and Steve, I'm glad you're here. Um, I think this maybe, I'm not gonna say that it is guaranteed, but maybe the boss battler that Steve will appreciate or find some interest in. I really think so. So we're gonna check it out, see what it's like, give it a whirl, and woo, I'm excited to be back streaming live. Anyway, before we begin, thank you to my patrons, subscribers, and if you're not, you're just coming in to hang out, thank you and welcome as well. Greg, Matt, Steve, C. Mitch, who do we got? ID Jester, what's up? I've been watching your Marvel Champions playthroughs, so those dice were not from me, actually. I snagged that from someplace else, but it made sense because I hate using tokens, and I was trying to think of something else to use, and when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm stealing that. So, steal away. We share and share alike, right? Yours, mine, and ours. So, okay, let's go ahead, get down to the table, explain how this game works, do the setup, and then we'll play a game, and I'll show you why I think this is a Steve game. All right, let's get down to the table. All right, so this is the game that's set up, and before I played this game, I actually watched a video of a Final Fantasy game, so that I could hear the music, and now that music is playing in my head. The one from Final Fantasy US 6, Japan 3, which is the one with Kefka, right? And so Dancing Mad is playing in my head as I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, okay, the mood is set. It is going to be incredible. So here we go. There is, from what I understand about what the dev wrote of this game, there is no, the backstory is what you kind of figure out. It's a Souls-esque type game to where, like in Dark Souls, you don't know what you're doing, right? You're just running around killing stuff, and there's bosses trying to attack you. This follows that same as where the narrative or the story itself emerges as you play through journey mode, right? There's locations, there's relic loot that you can get to upgrade as you go, and you play. But what really makes this an interesting, hey Elaine, what really makes this an interesting Steve type game is if you decide to go journey mode, it's an endurance fight. You keep fighting until you're dead. Right? However, you will never play the same game, the same abilities twice, because while your characters that you have here, and I'm going to be playing with 3 characters, but you can play up to 4, but while your characters have their innate abilities that we're going to go through, all their other abilities are drafted. So this is kind of a drafting boss battler, if you will. So, and it always changes from what you draft. So you get to choose, you get a grouping, and you get to pick 3 out of that grouping that you will take on your playthrough, right? Um, I just think it's cool. I think, like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I think Steve might like that because it'll add a lot of variety and modularity to the game and to the characters, where they have one type of ability that comes with them, but everything else is new, which I thought was cool. And yes, thieving the game is is a thing, but I think that that in of itself, plus the heavy co-op that's in here, is just kind of that gateway entry for him to be, oh, I think I might like this game. I think that might be cool. So let's introduce our characters, see what we have. And I put the matte sleeves on for this one, not Matt Levy sleeves, but matte sleeves, because these are the Kickstarter ones, and they're the foil cards that I got from the Kickstarter campaign. I don't know if the designer, this is by Almanac Games, but I don't know if the designer is going to be selling those aftermarket, so I don't want it to kind of glare on you as I'm playing. So check this out. Let me take you down to the cam, and let's talk about our characters. So our character is in hero mode right now, which is what that star is, right? You see their character, cool stuff. They have 9 health, 7 MP. They roll 1 die. The Slayer does 2 damage, and they crit if I roll a 6. I'm never gonna crit. Just for people who are going to play this game and are actually good at dice rolling, when you roll this number, you crit, okay? And different things happen when you crit, which is also pretty cool. But you also get these wonderful abilities. So the Slayer has Reclaim Blade, and the designer purposefully left the characters. I mean, they can look however you feel that they look. This could be he, she, they, them, whatever. And I remember him saying that he purposefully left the characters to look that androgynous, so whoever's playing can feel however they want to feel and play however they want to play. So Reclaim Blade, when you deal damage, so when I deal, this character deals 2 damage. So when you deal damage while performing a basic attack, I may spend 1 magic point for each threat gained. We'll talk about that, just stay with me. Place the top stamina card from the stamina deck to the fatigue deck for each MP spent in this way. Now, this right here is your drafting order, right? So when we draft for this character, we're going to draw 2 martial cards, 2 support cards, 2 sorcery cards, and 2 potions. And out of these 8 cards, we can only select 3 to play with. So when I pull from there, it'll go. However, there's another cool thing to this. If the threat gets too high, or if you choose to, you can shatter your character. And when you shatter your character, you flip them over to their shattered side. They lose all their abilities and they gain 1 card. And you gain what's called corruption. So whenever you hit max corruption, you die. Right? You are consumed by the evil. But notice my health points go to 10. I roll 2 dice now, still do 2 damage, and I crit on a 7. And then I have a whole new set of abilities, and I get 1 shatter card, ability card that I can use. And you'll say, okay, well, that's cool. It is, but it's also bad, because it's very hard. There are cards that you have to kind of find to return you to normal form, because shatter is kind of the corruption taking hold of you. And while you may need to do that, it's not something that you want to go to long term. So that's going to be the Slayer. We have, like I said, with these foil cards, the mat's really helping the foil not glare, which is really great. So the Aeromancer, 7 health, 9 magic, roll 1 die, does 1 damage, and I crit on a 1. Now here you would say, oh, look, the other one does a 6, and you do a 1. Obviously, Kanji's going to roll one of those. Young fool. I'm going to roll 2, 3, and 4 the entire game. So, arcane accuracy. When you use an ability attack, if you are in the back line, which we'll talk about that, the attack dealt goes to wounds, gain threat from damage dealt as normal, which, like I said, hang on, we'll talk about that. If you're in the front line, after rolling dice, reduce your threat by the value rolled before checking if the attack hit. And these are kind of your passive abilities that you have going on. You'll have 2 martial, 1 support, 5 sorcery, and no potions coming with you. So this is what's going to go on. When I shatter, it upgrades to this, and I get 3 shatter cards, ability cards to choose instead of just the 1, which... And there's a lot of characters in this game for you to play, so it's not... I'm just showcasing you 3, and I'll show you the rest after the playthrough. Nah, you will crit, Derek. Just a crit miss. Sounds like if you want to Steve the game, you shatter turn 1. Hey, Chris, what's going on? So then I'm also using a Lancer with 12 health, 7 magic, 1 die to roll, 1 damage she does, and on a 5... I crit. So once again, 1, 5, and 6. So what am I going to roll all night, everybody? Say it with me. I have an ability called Divine Leap. When you perform a move action, you may move to any frontline space. When you complete a move action as a reaction, perform a basic attack. You do not gain threat from this attack, and that's how I draft for this character. And when I shatter, it just gets pretty cool from there. All right, so let's hide this. You got to see their opening stuff where it's built out. So threat. Threat is bad. And right now our threat is at 0, which means the potential to hit the boss, to damage the boss, is there. But there's a caveat. So how do we begin this? Let's first deal with our boss. Then we'll draft our cards, and then we'll play the game. So let's take a look at our boss. So our boss, there is a pretty decent chunk of boss that comes with this base game. And this, what you see here, is the difficulty level. So this is the first boss, the Guardian, and I want to introduce the game to you all with the first boss, which is the Guardian. According to the dev, this should not be hard to beat. I'm rolling dice. Anyway, this should not be hard for people to beat, he said. And has never seen me play a game with dice. So this means that whenever we recover, which you'll see, I roll a die to determine what's going to happen. Whenever an area on the board reaches a threat of 9 total, and you'll see what that means in a second, then he will unleash on all of us. So that's kind of his ultimate ability that's going to beat us up. And he's saying, this is for your protection. When a character has their HP reduced to 0 during the defend phase, that character gains 1 HP. So as you see, he's not trying to kill us, he's trying to protect us, because this character was once... If you've played Dark Souls, there was that one character, I can't remember who it was, but he had like a broken arm and he carried a huge sword. But this character feels that kind of that way, where he's just trying to protect you, get you out of the area, and so you have to fight him. This at the bottom is going to be the stamina, how we build the stamina deck. So this is physical and magical damage. So physical damage, you see 1, that's 1 per player. Magic, 1 per player. And you'll see the other side of this if I can get past this first phase. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this massive deck of cards and shuffle it together. Shuffle it all up, and then we're going to draw 3 physicals and 3 magical to make up the stamina deck, because it's 1 per character. So we'll just give this a nice good shuffle, and then we'll just draw 1. Yikes, that is awful. 2, and I'll just grab from the center, why not 3. Let's split this back up. Come on, get in there, get in there. There we go. So that's 3 physical, and then we're going to grab the magic deck and shuffle this up. Yes, I sleeve my cards. Shuffle this up pretty good. And sleeving makes it good for shuffling when you're a terrible shuffler. 1, 2, and 3. Right? And then you put these back. So this is his stamina deck. You just shuffle this bad boy up however you want to. Yeah, it looks good. Because I'm playing with 3 characters, it's 3 each. You're like, oh, that should be simple. That should be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Then you put 1 claw per each location to start. That's how we're starting off. Boom, right? So the boss also has what's called a rage deck. So this is 5 cards that if you are ever in a zone without any sort of attack, he's going to draw one of these on you. I told you, this is a Steve game. You're taking a punch to the face no matter what. It's just how bad depends on you. So you shuffle those up and put them out there. Okay, the boss is going to be here. We're going to draft, and then we're going to determine where we're going to start. You don't shuffle any way you want to. There's a proper way of shuffling. You know this. Hey, Dan. All right, so first we'll start off with the Aeromancer. The Aeromancer, and we'll shuffle these. There's no shenanigans on these playthroughs, people. If I win, I'm pleasantly surprised. If I lose, it's a Tuesday. So we shuffle these up, and the Aeromancer is going to draw 2 of these. 1, 2. 1 of these. Shuffle this up. There you go. 5 sorcery ones. And remember, if you're playing in a group, everybody gets to do this at the same time, so everybody gets a chance to look over what they're going to do, but I'm going to waste your time looking at all 3 of them, so welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And no potions. All right, so let's take a look at these cards. And from all this, we can only have 3 cards, period. The only shenanigans are from the RG gods, and boy howdy. So, first card is Mark of the Valkyrie. So this can be a reaction, right? It costs 1 magic to play it. When a character in your area rolls dice on an attack, as a reaction, that character may reroll 1 die. This is from Ultra Pro, that's why that's there. So we can reroll 1 die if we want as Mark of the Valkyrie. So that's 1 that you get. The other one is Terra Strike. So as an active attack, which means if we get 2 actions. If one of our actions is to use this attack on Terra Strike, we have to pay 2 magic, and we roll 2 dice. If you are in the front line and this attack hits, deal 1 additional damage, which is, I actually like that one a lot. For a support card, this is also a reaction. Calming Presence costs 1 magic point to use it. When an adjacent character rolls to recover, I can trigger this ability. That character may re-roll the recover die. There's a lot of re-rolls going on there. We've got Blood Magic. So roll 1 die. This doesn't cost any magic. Roll 1 die. Choose that number of stamina cards in an area to place them in wounds. Ooh. Reduce your HP by the value rolled. Okay, this right here is also another cool part of this game. So reduce your HP by the number of value rolled. Cool, that's the spell. Then you must recycle this. What this means is that as soon as I use this ability, I discard this ability and I draw a brand new ability. So even when you're playing, some cards are 1 use and then you get another card back, which you don't know what that ability could be. It could be anything. It could be a boat. You don't know. This precognition costs 1 magic. Free play. Choose any area. Place the stamina cards in that area in any order. That makes sense if you want to reduce what's about to happen to you. We've got Fire Monsoon. If this attack hits, before you deal damage, place a number of stamina cards equal to the attack roll from fatigue into wounds and then you must lose the card. But it costs 6 magic to do, which is pretty strong, but we'll see. Spirit Bond. When an adjacent character gains threat as a reaction, roll 1 die, reduce that number. I actually like that one. I might be keeping that one. And then we've got Untapped Magic. Free play. So change your current MP to magic points to 12, ignoring your magic point limits, and then get rid of this. For a magic user, I think that card might come in handy. So I would like to get Terra Strike, because that looks cool as one of my cards. Spirit Bond can help reduce threat. And we'll do Untapped Magic, because that'll give us magic back for free. Monsoon would be pretty cool, because that pulls from fatigue. Ooh, that could be like a last-ditch card. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab Fire Monsoon with that. So those are going to be my 3, and then these get placed at the bottom of the deck, so no other characters can get them until you mill down all of these cards. Which is here, here, and here. And that's my starting ability for the Arrowmancer. For the Slayer, we're going to grab 2, 2, 2, and... oh, I didn't shuffle you. Ah! That almost went flying. I did not shuffle you. There we go. No shenanigans, people. And 2. So, unlike martial, support, and sorcery, potions are 1 use and you don't get them back. So, if you use a potion, you don't pull a new potion, they're gone for the rest of the fight. And then you'll get them back on the next fight. So, what do we got? We've got Blade Blossom. So, it costs 3 magic. Roll 2 dice. This attack deals 1 damage. Choose any area to target for this attack. When the attack is resolved, you may target another area you have not attacked with this ability this round to perform this attack again. So if we do that attack again, but if we use it, we lose the ability, and we have to pull a new ability. Blurring Feign. Reaction. When you miss an attack, I might be keeping this card. Perform a basic attack. Do not gain threat from this attack. I'm probably going to be keeping that card for me. We have Commune. Roll a die. 1 to 3, reduce the threat of a character in your area to 0. Ooh. Okay. Respite. Reduce the threat from a character in your area to 1, and then we lose the card. We've got Healing Zephyr. Choose the front line or back line, roll 1 die. All characters in that line gain that much HP, and then you lose this card, but it costs 4 magic. Reclaim Barrage. Roll 1 die, because this says attack 1. Before rolling dice on this attack, if you're in the front line, place the top stamina card in the stamina deck into fatigue and then lose the card. Oh, no, it says you may, not you must. So, and then I could lose that card if I want. And then we got a potion. So this is an item, Empowering Draught. Roll 2 dice, gain that much MP, then you may use any active ability even if it has been used this activation, and then flip this card face down, which means it's gone. And then we have Recovery Serum. Perform 2 recovery actions, flip this card face down. Interesting. So I'm liking the if I miss hit again. I like that. This is you must. This one is not. I'm not. If I roll a 1, no, I won't crit with you. This would have been great over there. Anyway, let's do. I want one of these potions. Let's do the Recover 2 for that potion. And let's do Respite so you can see how this works when we use it. So we'll do these, put them at the bottom, and then we draft 1 final time for our last character. And if people are wondering what these card holders are, they are from E-Raptor. There are E-Raptor ones. All right, you're going to get 1, 5 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 sorcery and 1 potion. Let's see what you got. Finisher. Reaction. When you complete an action that dealt damage, perform an ability attack you have not used this round as a free... Ooh. If you have no ability cards, you may recycle this, then gain 2 magic. I actually like that one. Yeah, that's a nice reaction. Charge. Move a character in the back line into any space in the front line, and then you may lose the card. Rallying Prayer. Gain 4 threat. All characters may perform a recover action. You must recycle this card. Shield of Faith. While, as a reaction, while in the front line, if your HP is reduced, each character in the back line gains that much magic points. Strategic Mastery. When a character in your area rolls dice on an attack, if one of the dice rolled is equal to your attack value, or equal to your crit value, I must use this. So if one of the dice rolled, when a character in your area, and the area is the front or the back line, ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Pillar of Radiance. This one's super expensive. And for good reason. It is insane. When you use this ability, set this card next to any area. Characters can target that area from any space with attacks. Characters attacking that area do not gain threat for those attacks. Recycle this card at the end of the round. We got Necrotic Arts. As a spell attack, do not gain threat from melee cards when performing this attack. And then our potion. Roll a die, gain that much health on yourself and an adjacent character, then flip this card face down. So we'll need that potion for sure. We will need that potion. So we're keeping that. But where's that awesome ability? Finisher sounds fun. And then if I have the magic, that'll be cool. Let's do the one that if I have the magic, that'll be cool. When a character in your area rolls dice on an attack, if one of the roll dice is equal to your crit value. Yes. Yes. Good. Good. Hey, Steph. All right. All right, we fooled around long enough. So let's set our health to 7. If we're reduced to 0 and it is the recovery phase, we lose. Magic to 9. Threat to 0 for you. You will have health of 9, magic of 7. Nice turnaround. Threat of 0. And you will have health of 12, magic of 7, and threat of 0. Cool. We're going to determine where we're going to start our fight. So our Arrowmancer wants to be in the back line. We'll start here. And if you want to randomize where you start, you can always roll a dice to say where your characters will start. So let's do that instead. So you'll start at 4. You'll start at 1, and I'll put you in the front area because you're a Lancer, and you'll start at 4 as well. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do as we're getting into this round, this is the track, the refresh, action, and defend. Those are the phases of it. This is the character token. So what our job to win this game, how do we win the game, Derek? We win the game by having all these cards in that pile. So basically we want to wound the boss enough that he transforms to his ultimate form and then do it again, right? That's how we beat him. That's how we win this fight. However, when you see this token, this means he is guarded. So when he is guarded, instead of damage going to wounds, they go to fatigue. Once we drain the entire stamina deck, we flip this over and he becomes staggered. And then any damage we do to him goes to wounds. So first we need to drain his stamina deck, and then he'll go staggered and then we take him on. Make sense? Easy, easy. Not hard to grasp. On the refresh phase, first thing we're going to do is we're going to roll a die to determine what stamina this creature is going to play. Ooh, almost lost that. So there's 3 characters. So the Arrowmancer rolled. So this card will go in 5. Roll for you. 2. Roll for you. 4. Yikes. All right, cool. So game setup is ready for us to play. How do we hit the boss? This is his health. These stamina cards are his health. So if we clear an area with stamina cards, it doesn't mean that he's open to get hit. That just means that we've dealt the necessary damage to him for that to happen. But these are his health. So by knocking these things down, we knock them to fatigue. And once the stamina deck is empty, he's staggered. And then we start knocking them to wounds and trying to drain stamina and fatigue completely. All right. So we rolled our dice. We did our thing. We're ready to begin the game. Go in any order you want. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So what do we want to do first? Right now, and each character, just so I let you know, each character gets 2 actions that they can do. They can move, perform a basic attack, or recover, use an ability, or they can shatter themselves, right? Move, you can move 3 spaces. You can't move diagonal, it's all orthogonal, but you can move 3 spaces. So for the Arrowmancer, he can do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you have to move orthogonally. For basic attacks, we're going to talk about that because I'm about to do something. But for basic attacks, you roll a die and you have to beat your threat level. So not meet, but beat your threat level. So if my threat level is at a 4, if I roll a 4, I miss. If I roll a 5 or higher, I pass. If I roll a 4 or less, I don't pass. Simple? Cool. Cool. Let's play. All right. We are going to use, for you, because you're in this zone, for my first action, I'm going to use Terror Strike, and that's going to cost me 2 magic. 1, 2. To say, if you're in, I'm not in the front row, so probably I should move. So let's move first. 1. Ooh, that's going to suck. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 for my first move. And then my second move, let's do this, which is the Terra Strike, where I'm going to roll 2 dice, and basically it's a guaranteed hit. I have to beat a 0. It's not a guaranteed hit with me, but you get my point. So I roll a 7. Okay, cool. So here's what happens. I deal 1 damage, right? So you take this card and put it in fatigue. And for the damage that I dealt, you see these symbols here? I take that much threat, which is 1, 2, 3. However, remember that my ability says I deal 1 additional damage, which would be this card as well, and I gain 1, 2. That's how you raise your threat. You can manage your threat. It doesn't always go up. You can roll dice to see if you can deal with it or not, and we'll get to that because I'm going to have to. So now, if I want to do an ability with this character, I have to roll a 6 or higher on 1 die. Right? So that is your turn. We'll flip that over, saying you're done. That's what you got to do. Those are your 2 actions. You moved, and then you attacked. Yay. Okay, then for the Slayer, that is a lot of threat. Oh, that's a lot of threat. All right, so let's just do, it says when you deal damage while performing a basic attack, you may spend 1 MP for each gained, place the stamina cards into the deck, which is what I want to do. So I'm going to do a basic attack. I'm going to roll this die, and I can't miss because it's my first turn. So, blink. I rolled, is that the 6? I think that's the 6. Yeah, that's the 6. So I rolled a 6. No, that does not mean I shatter. It would be awful if it did. But I rolled a 6. I did not miss, and I do 2 damage. So I do 1, oopsie, 2, which gains me 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 threat, and this says when you deal damage from a basic attack, I may spend MP for each threat gained. So if I spend 7 MP, then I could place that many cards from stamina to fatigue for each MP spent that way. It means up to. So I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 to take these 3 cards and put them in the fatigue deck. The stamina deck is now empty. He is staggered. Which leaves my other character to start knocking all this damage in the wounds, right? So that was my first action. My second action, I'm going to recover. And when you roll a recover, I roll a die, and you get to choose what you want to do when you roll this die. So I'm going to roll a die, I rolled a 2. I can either remove a corruption. I haven't gotten one yet, but you'll see those. I can gain magic by 2. I can gain 2 magic, or I could reduce my threat by 2, which is what I'm going to do. 1, 2. And oh my gosh, I did this. I rolled a 6. I rolled a crit on my hit. I rolled a crit because I had a 6. When you roll a crit when you attack, you do not. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that happened. I got to roll that back. I messed that up. Dang it, I messed that up. Biscuits. I rolled a crit. When you roll a crit, you don't gain any. When you roll a crit, you don't gain any. So, which means I wouldn't have used any magic. That would have been cool, but it's not because I rolled a crit. The one time I do it, so let me tell you what just happened. When I rolled a 6. My crit is a 6, which means these 2 damage go to fatigue and I don't take any threat. Biscuits. I didn't want to do that. No wonder you gave me the crit, you jerk. All right, so what am I going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to move here. You're going to move there. Because I don't want to draw into that card just yet. Is it making sense yet or no? Then you're done with your turn. Your turn. I want to get rid of this. When you perform a move action, you may move to any frontline space. And when I move, I get to perform a basic action and I don't gain threat from it for this ability. So I'm going to do my move. I get to move to any frontline space, so I'm going to move here. And when I complete a move action, which I'm just done, I perform a basic attack and I don't gain threat. So here, let's do it. So that was successful. I put this in fatigue and I gained 3. Biscuits. So that was my move action. The reaction was to do a basic attack, which was free. Oh, and I don't gain threat. I just said that. All right, so when you complete an action that dealt damage, perform an ability attack you have not used this round. No, I don't want to use that. That was my movement, which gave me a free basic attack, and then I'm going to attack again. And I didn't gain any threat, so that's a guaranteed 3, putting this here, and I will now gain 4. And that is where I am. All right. Cool. This was unfortunate because I would have had him staggered and he wasn't. Jerk. I almost had him. Okay, so my character's turn's over. I moved and then I attacked. Now it is, that was the action phase. Now it moves to the defend phase where the boss has something to say about it. The first thing he's going to do is he's going to look in the areas to see if any of his attack cards are next to a character, which it is, and then we're going to flip that card over and do what it says. In here, I take 2 damage. So this is the Slayer taking 2 damage, going from 9 to 7. And then this card is placed there. Then for the characters who did not, he's going to draw one of these cards and basically punch them in the face. So this card, when you flip it over, the Fallen Greatsword is going to do 2 damage and raise their threat by 1 for the Arrowmancer. So 1, 2, and raise your threat by 1. And then this card goes at the bottom of his deck. And we flip this one over, And I told y'all would see corruption. So you will take 1 damage, raise your threat by 1, and then you gain a corruption. So shuffle these up. Cool. Awesome sauce. And I gain a corruption. Well, let's take a look at what these do. Yay! Poison. When you complete an action, reduce your magic by 2. Yay! So that's what you get. We can remove these by doing a recover action. And then this goes at the bottom here. Then what we do is we move from there back to refresh, which means wherever there's a character, we're going to put 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go into rolling dice to see where they're going to go. Well, if you can see here, the stamina deck is empty, which means he will flip the staggered, but we're going to put them from the fatigue deck. So this will go here. This will go here. And this will go here. Condition corruption is that not corruption, sorry, not corruption. Affliction, sorry Chris, it's affliction. Not corruption, it's affliction. Afflictions, not corruption, sorry. All right, so now it's down to the action phase, so it's our turn to act again. He is staggered. So now any damage we do, it's going up here. Okay, so let's flip these back over. And like I said, we can do whatever we want. You are not that great because we need to recover with you definitely first. But attacking with you and being able to use that magic when I miss might be helpful. Where are you? Yeah. Let's help the arrow guy. So, and you hit for 2. So move 1, 2, and then you are going to attack. And if I can't miss. 3. I got it. So these 2 that I hit are going to go to wounds. And because I did not crit, I will now take 4 threat. Yeah, your birds are all hatched. Yeah. You don't have any cards in stamina, so my ability isn't going to help me. And I just did my 2 actions. I moved and I attacked. All right, you are going to recover. So we're going to roll a die and see how much we recover by. Oh, I crit. I crit. Oh, thank God. I crit. I was about to be furious when I crit. When you crit, when you're doing recover, you can either you can reduce threat to 0, gain maximum magic, or remove all afflictions. So because I did crit Game for Hating Me, I'm going to reduce all my threat to 0. Stupid game. And then I have... Oh man, I was about to be furious with you. Okay. Oh man, what can you do? I can't do anything. I don't have a ranged attack anywhere. Ooh. Goodness. This game did quite enough to take stuff away from me. Okay. When you use an ability attack, if you're in the back line, if you're in the front line, after rolling dice, reduce your threat by that value rolled before checking if the attack hit. Ah, sugar pie. I don't want to face his vengeance. I'm going to move. Your attack's only 1, which sucks. I'm going to move up. Actually, 1, 2, 3. I'll move there. And that ends my turn. Okay, your turn. You are going to recover first. So 1, 2, 3. And then let's do a basic attack. I can move and do a basic attack and then do something more. Nope, we're going to do a basic attack. And when we recovered, I did that instead of this. Basic attack. Which is a 4, which is higher than 2. I do 1 damage, so this will go to wound, and I will raise this by 3, going to 5. So that was recover, basic attack, which was that. When a character in your area does a dice attack, nope. When I deal damage, perform an ability check you have not used this round. Nope. And then at the end of my round, I lose 2 magic because I am afflicted with poison. And that's it. Okay, so goodness. Defend phase. Well, you're all by your lonesome, right? So let's see what's going to happen to you. Good biscuits. Can I do anything to reduce that? Reduce the threat of a character in your area by 2, 1. All right, so that we'll have to use respite on our turn because we're going all the way up to 8 with that. Yuck. Okay. Then we're going to flip this, and you're going to take 1 damage, and you would take 2 corruption, but I'm not shattered, so that's a freebie. And then you are going to take 2 damage, going to 9. And that goes away. Okay. Stamina deck is empty. It's the end of the round. What's going to happen is he's going to take this. And what the dev has is that you don't shuffle it, you put it back on here. I altered that a little bit because I feel like variety would be nice instead of us knowing what's coming up. So I'm going to alter that and say shuffle it. Sorry. Then because he has stamina, he flips back to guarded. And goes, and so now we have to try to drain it again. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And then we got to roll 3, 2, and 4. Well, look at that. Shattered. Or, not shattered, whatever you want to call it. The thing where he's ready to be punched in the face. Okay. This is important. There's nothing in the fatigue deck and nothing in the stamina deck. The first time a wound is inflicted on him, he's going to transform to his second state. So who's going to go first? Who's going to go first and feel that wrath? It's probably going to be you. And I'm going to use this Terra Strike because it'll deal... you're only going to deal 1 damage. It was going to wounds anyway. This attack's going to hit. If this attack hits, before you deal damage, place a number of cards equal to the attack from the fatigue and the wounds. Nope, not there yet. So you might not be going first. The Lancer can move and do a basic attack, which will make him shift. Or the Slayer can do something. The Slayer can do this and then do an attack. And I think the Slayer is going to go first. So the Slayer is going to use Respite as their action to reduce our threat of a character in your area to 1. And then we must recycle this card, so we'll lose it. And we'll gain a new card, which is Captivating Display as a reaction. When another character rolls dice on an attack, select any stamina cards from their area and place it in yours. So we got a new ability. And then my second action is I'm going to attack. I roll 1 die. I rolled a 1. When you miss an attack, spend 3 magic. 1, 2, 3. The one thing I didn't have to roll. When you miss an attack, spend 3 magic, perform a basic attack. Do not gain threat from this attack. Screw you, game. 5. All right, so we do the 2 damage, and we don't gain any threat from our lovely reaction that we did. But because these were empty, he is going to transform into his evil form. And his reaction deck gets switched out with his new reaction deck. And this flips to that. So this time, if an area goes to basically has 5 threat, we've got a problem. Yeah, so if an area has 5 threat on the defend phase, he is going to explode on us. We're going to roll 1 dice in recovery like we've been doing. You've left me no choice. After a melee card is revealed during the defend phase, each character in the target area gains 1 threat. And this would be, you see 0 and 0, and we'll show it when I show you the other characters, you'll see, but this means how much more stamina cards you will add to the deck, or remove, either add or remove, but right now it's none. So we've got him set, and once he shifts, this comes down here, and he flips back to guard it. Yay! Okay, that was you. You did that, and you did not gain any because of this. So you used your ability, and then you used your magic, and you're done. Okay, so that's bad, and that's bad. Both of those are bad. So what do we want to do? I hate that this is a frontline thing, but I need to do it. So you're going to move 1, 2. That's a lot of threat. And then let's go ahead and spend 2 magic going down to 5. Roll 2 dice, and no matter what, I'm going to make it. So that's a 6. My attack deals 1 additional damage, so we'll get rid of both of these. So that's 2, 4, 5. So that's 6 threat coming up there for that hit, but at least it stops us from dying. So that's a move and an attack that does that. Okay. You are going to move, and when you move, you can perform a basic attack, and you do not gain threat. So I need to, oh, biscuits, I need to beat a 5. Let's not do that. Let's do a recovery. Let's do that. Let's do a recovery. 6, sweet. Let's drop all of this to 0. All threat to 0. Then we're going to do our move, which lets us do a basic attack. That's perfectly fine. So we'll knock this here, and we will take 2, 4, 5. Oh no, I don't gain any when I do that. You do not gain threat from that attack. So no threat gained. Okay. And then at the end of my turn, I lose 2 more magic. All right. That be that. Okay, so then we move into the defend phase. The defend phase, he is going to have something to say to you, have something to say to you, and then we're going to flip that. So what are you doing? Good Lord. Can I do something about that? No. 5 damage. I'm down to 2 health. He seemed upset about something. And then for the arrow dude, the character with the lowest threat rolls a die. That character gains threat equal to the roll. The lowest threat is you, because you're at 0. So my threat goes to 4. And then finally, 2 damage, going to 7, and a corruption, but I'm not corrupted. Boom. It's looking pretty rough over here. So let's go ahead and you, and you, and then we roll our die. 1, 2. Welcome to stage Stagger, jerk. And 4. Okay, then we move down to action. All right. Flip these back over. You are going to help heal him. So we're going to use our potion. We're going to roll a die and gain that much HP on yourself and an adjacent character and flip this card face down. 4. So you're going to gain 4, going back up to 11, and you're going to gain 4 going to 6. And then we'll flip this face down. Wrong person. Wrong person. It's not you. It's you. Do I need to move before I do that? I do need to move before I do that, and I'll get to do an attack when I do it. So I'll move here. I get to do a basic attack. A 5, which does work, and it crits. A 5 crits. So I get to put you in wound and not take the damage, and then I'll do this to do the 4 and 4. And then flip this face down. For the attack on Slayer, 5 threat, not 5 damage. For the attack on Slayer, 5 threat, yes, 5 threat. So at the defend phase, if there's 5 threat, it goes and then he takes his turn against us. Okay, so that was you. You moved and you used your potion. You need to move 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to perform an attack. I hate you, game. 1, 2, 3, because I missed. Thank you. And I don't gain threat for this attack, and it's 2 damage. Going to wounds. And that's you. Then you, Mr. Aeromancer, will move. Oh, did I screw something up? I must have screwed something up. He should have taken threat, not damage. I screwed something up, didn't I? Oh, you're right. It is 5 threat, not 5 damage. It's too much to return now. 1, 2, 3. Actually, no, let's go here. 1, 2, and then let's spend 2 magic to roll 2 dice. I hope we roll higher than a 6. That's not higher than a 6. Not at all. Nope. That's a fail. Okay. Then we go here. Is there any that's at 5? No. So then he will attack. You get to get a card. Okay, here we go. 2 threat and affliction. 1, 2 going to 8, and you gain an affliction. When your activation ends, gain another affliction. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that. So that goes to fatigue. This one flips. You will take a damage and no corruption. And then what's happening to you? Reduce magic to 0. And I would take 2 corruption, but I don't. Then flip this because this is going back. And like I say, I shuffle this. And then 1 in every area with an enemy. And then we roll. 1, 2, and flip. because we don't have any more to put. You are free fire. That's nasty. Okay, so you're going to recover and hope that you roll a 1. Sure, this thing's gone. I can't deal with that. Constant afflictions. And then you're going to recover again, this time for threat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that will be your turn. You're going to move and perform a basic. That was a free basic, and I had to beat a 4. Cool. Cool, that's a mess. So that was my move with my free. And then after recover, I need my magic. That is not a crit, but I'm still going to get rid of that. And that's you. Well, this thing's kicking off, isn't it? So let's go ahead and do... Let's do a recover because I miss a lot. I get a magic point. I'm just gonna attack. Why the hell not? Oh my god. Sure, I'm done. Sure. Whatever. Oh my gosh. Roll anything but a 1. Continues to consecutively roll 1s. Sure. All right. Well, here we go. So this is a claw attack, so it's going to hit the front line. 2 damage, going down to 2 health. Then, oh, sorry, before that happens, let me get my 2 health back. Over 5. This hits everybody. Each character in the front line takes 3 damage. So you're going down to 1 health, you're dead. And you get hit for 3, going down to 3. This is 5 or greater. Hey, everybody. Gain threat until it reaches 11. Everyone. Yay. Oh, look, this one's over 5 too. So everyone shatters. Everyone has gone to the highest threat. They've exceeded that much, so everyone shatters. So we're going to shatter, which is not bad. That actually stops my Aeromancer from dying. So when you shatter, you actually reset all of this. So I do that. My magic. I don't have any magic. Oh, I was supposed to flip this. That's why. You flip this board over. And then you go to 9. Corruption is at 5. Health is at 9. And threat is at 0. You flip this over. Health is 10. Corruption. Oh, my max corruption is. That's my max corruption. My corruption's at 0. So if I go to 5, I'll go crazy. And my threat is at 0. That's what it is. I remember. Flip this over. Health is at 9. My max corruption is 7. And my threat is 0. Then we lose all these cards. They're just gone. Bye-bye now. They're gone. And we're going to gain corruption abilities. One, two, three. 1 and 1. from the 3, we have Demonic Flames. When you crit, place 1 card from stamina into wounds. Infectious Thorns. So it costs 1 corruption to play this. When you resolve this attack, place stamina cards equal to your roll from the top of the stamina into any area. Ultimate Control. Activate any active ability another character has equipped. That's an interesting symbol. Never run into that one. Some sort of chain effect. Equipable. Activate any active ability another character has equipped. I don't have any of that. Gain corruption equal to its cost. If it has no cost, gain 1 corruption. So we pick one of these. Let's pick that one, see if we can crit. Next one. Place a number of stamina cards into your area equal to your current corruption into wounds, and then we have to pull another card, and this costs 4 corruption to play that. And then finally, the Lancer gets, when a character rolls dice as an attack, as a reaction, use your threat for the value of the roll instead. This can result in a crit. Yay! And let's go ahead and change our characters to their corrupted side. To their corrupted tokens. Man, this is bad. This is still the boss's turn, as he was able to do that and threat us out. Oh, but we're not done yet, my friends. We still have to do this, which is 2 damage. 1, 2. That was front line, right? Front line, it would have been you. 1, 2. For you, you get 1, 2, 1 corruption, and this. When you hit with an attack, if the roll is odd, deal damage to yourself instead of the target. Yay! Cool! Fun, fun, fun. This is going to come over here, flipping you back to that. Then we'll put this here. Nothing else to do, which flips you here. And there's no other cards to do, so we're down to our action phase. That was awful. That was just awful. Okay. At the start of your activation, when you hit the enemy with an attack before dealing damage, place any cards in your play area into another area. What? Look at this. Just look at this. When you hit the enemy with an attack before dealing damage, as a reaction, place any stamina cards in play into another area. Oh, in play. Okay, okay. We can move things around. I gotcha. Okay. All right, well, cool. Okay, well, we're going to roll some dice for you first. Yeah, you're in this area, and you roll 2 dice, but you still deal 1 damage, and a 7's a crit. That's a 5. On 0, we made the hit, so we will, when you hit with an attack, before dealing damage, we can move stuff. We're going to move, ooh, why are you here? You should have got dealt out. You'd have been dealt here anyway. We're going to move this up here, and then put that in wound. Done. That was the first attack. Then the second attack, let's just do it again. And I would have gained 1 threat. That's a 6, not a 7. So, boom, and I will gain 5 more, going to 6 threat. And I get to move another card. Let's move you. Yeah, let's just stack it up right there. And now you're done. At the start of your activation, I'm going to gain a corruption. And then recycle my corruption card. Jeez. Cool, so I keep losing this ability every turn. Gotcha. Curse Chorus. Deal one affliction to yourself and search the rage deck, placing one card on top. No. First thing we're going to do is recover. Yay, get rid of that. Instead of 0, I'm fine. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attack. 7 is my crit, so we'll take 2 of these off. Taking 2, 4, 6. That's 6. And that's you. Then finally for the Lancer, at the start of your activation, reduce your corruption by 1. When a character rolls down an attack, my value's fine. So the Lancer is going to here. Oh, no, I have to move. 1, 2, 3. I don't have that ability anymore. And then I'm going to attack for 2. Yep, that beats it. So this will go here, and then we have 5. And you're done. All right, Chuckles, what you got? So you're going to deal 1 here. There's not 5s, so you'll just deal 1 here, and that's going to hit both of them. This will flip. I will gain a corruption. This will go here. Then we'll flip this. Shield of Visions. The character with the lowest threat rolls a die and gains that. Lowest threat, I'm at 6, 6, 5. 8. This will go at the bottom. Then that's the defend. You'll flip back over. This will come back out here, and then you'll flip back over to that. We're close. We just got to clear that, and he's dead. All right. So get these off. I'm going to lose that ability, and that's okay. You are going to recover. Did I roll 2 dice to recover? Yes, I do. Roll 2 dice to recover. Roll 1. Nice. And then let's go ahead and attack. 3. I had it at a 0, so boom, and then I gain a threat. So that was my 2. You're going to gain a corruption. Your max is 12, so you're okay. And then you lose this card. Was that a crit? No, 7 is. I rolled a 6. I rolled 2 6s. That wasn't a crit. I wish that was a crit. That wasn't a crit. 7 is a crit. Rejected servitude. During the defend phase, if you would gain more than 1 from a revealed rage card, reduce it to 1. Not bad. That's not bad. It was the Lancer's last attack. He should have had 5 less threat. Okay. 3. Gotcha. All right, so let's finish this guy off, shall we? Move. Attack. I hate you. This guy's gonna kill us, I swear to God. All right, so we get, you don't gain any corruption. Move, attack. That is more than 3, so that goes there. 5, 6. Oh, that's 5. Nope, not there, so I gain 2. That's it. Oh my God, the guy has 1 stinking health left. All right, so what is happening here? Reduce my magic to 0. I don't have any magic, and gain 2 corruption, going up to 3. Each character in the front line takes 3 damage. Ooh. And then let's not. Then he would flip because we would flip this. Son of a. Before performing any action other than a basic attack, gain 2. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing on the turn. Then that would come back here, then it'll come out here. You'll flip here. Let's finish you, shall we? All right. We're going to let the arrow dude go first. Yeah. Boom. Dead. Now, when he does die, he gets what's called the last gasp. So we have to survive until the end of the round, basically. So you might threat out. So instead, what we're going to do on your turn, is we're going to rest. That's not a basic attack, so you gain 2. And then we'll recover. Get rid of this. And then recover. Oh, recover is supposed to be 1 die. Sorry, 3. 1, 2, 3. I rolled 2. Then that'd be the end of you. And for you, we're going to recover. Nice. And move to the back line. All right, last gasp. 1, 2, 3. And if we can survive this, we win. Gain threat until it reaches 11. Woo! For threat, 1, 2, 3, 4 at 11. The character with the lowest, which is you, rolls a die and gains 4. And that's it. We won. We beat him. We beat him. Oh, look at that. Now, the win condition on this, I just want to make sure I understand the win condition, because we beat him, but I don't know if we won. So let me see the win condition. Set up, playing the game, because when he flipped this, that was just bad. We were just going for the kill. Action phase, game phase, defend phase, controlling rage, defend, come on. Enemy turns, attacking, come on. Abilities, shattering. There is a thing for beating him. I read it in this book the 13th time I read it. Where is it? Let's look in the context. Objective. Objective is 2, page 2, which is this one. Players will fight an enemy in a battle known as an encounter. Players win an encounter when both sides of the enemy card are defeated. To defeat an enemy, players work to reduce the enemy's strength and inflict wounds. Players will need to work with their character's unique abilities. This shifts the enemy's strength from stamina fatigue, blah, 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 blah. Players lose an encounter if all characters have been removed from the encounter by having their hit points reduced to 0 or by fully succumbing to corruption. So no, we won. We won. If we fully succumb to corruption, which means we would have been at 5, 12, or 7 respectively, then we would have lost the game, but we won. Yeah. So it is a win. Okay. So this boss was the starter boss, right? So this is the one that we begin with. There are more bosses. There is this guy, the Harvester, who he will have 4 per player and 1 per player, so a total of 4 melee and 1 ranged magical attack per player for a total of 5. So that's 15 cards in his deck that you have to fight him with. If threat on your area ever hits 5, this happens. If you will roll on recovery, you'll roll 3 dice, not just 1 anymore on the recover to see where stuff's going to get placed. 3 dice. There is the Eater of Children. Oh yes. And if you notice, the little kid's hands are hanging out there. But this is all ranged attacks, 4 per player, so for a total of 12. On an 8, and you'll roll 1 die with what goes on. There is the Winged Terror. Bring it down! So there's the Winged Terror, who gets super huge, and I think this is the one. No, that ain't the one. Yeah, this is the one. So the Eater of Children one, if you notice, adds more cards when they flip to their side, their boss side of fighting. There is the Specta, the Sunken Beast, the first chosen that you have to fight, and the Shattered God, which is the hardest character in the game to play. So this is the hardest one to fight, and he has a bunch of abilities that go against you. There are, let me not use the foil one because I don't want to blind you as you're looking. So the characters of the game that, if you'll buy it and it's not the foil cards, you see the Lancer, you've seen the Slayer, they have a Seer, basically that says at the start of your activation you may reveal all cards in any area so you can see what to expect or what's coming, and you may place one reveal card in the fatigue, then return the rest face down in any order that you want. So that's pretty cool for kind of being scrying on cards to see what you need to get rid of if they're in your area. There's the Siren, so Black Powder Ballad. When you attack, you may target an adjacent area instead of being in the one that you are. If you do, you may gain magic equal to the lowest die value rolled, or another character in your area may gain 2 MP. There is the Ronin. So when your basic attack misses, do recovery. This does not count as one of your 2 actions for this activation. We've got the Aromancer, which you saw. The Arithmagician. So, Mutamancy. When a character in your area rolls a die, reduce your MP by 3, change a die face, increasing it by 1 so you could do some dice mitigation. And then there's the Monk. After you complete an action, you can either move a space or reduce your threat by 1. So, there is a pretty decent chunk of characters for you to use. There is a pretty interesting set of bosses for you to battle, and like the designer said, the designer was like, don't look at this boss and be the judge of the game. This boss is meant to be a tutorial boss. It's meant to be very easy for you to defeat. These ones are the ones that are going to rock you, all of them, because as you can see, this one went from a 1 to a 3, so it automatically ramped up, and this is the second boss that you fight. So it went from a 1 to 3. The ones that you're seeing here, these acrylic standees, they have a standee base, but I don't use them. However, if you don't want them, there are standees for you to use here that come with the base game for you to use. And there's 2 modes to this game. This was just a regular incursion, a regular fight that we did, but there is a journey mode in this where it's basically an endurance fight. In that endurance fight, you will go to locations, and even the locations that you go to have abilities that work for and against you. So you'll have different locations where you fight that will contribute to the fight. When you beat them, you'll get relics, which is new abilities and equipment that you can equip with your characters as you move forward on your journey. So you'll get X amount of relics, right, that you can play with. And I want to make sure I grab the proper book here. Come on. And you get this journey mode. So which is probably what I think a lot of people are going to play when they get this, is the journey mode. So in the journey mode, it tells you kind of how to set up your character. But one of the things it does is it deals with encounters. So you travel to a location, then you set up the encounter based on the difficulty that you want. So if you want it normal, hard, or shattered difficulty, which is super hard, there's a modifier that the bosses get, right? And you go through this journey tracker and the bonus rewards that you get if you beat them. As you pick up those rewards, you just keep going through this story, and you're learning more about the world as you go through, that you keep playing, and then you add up kind of your score at the end for your journey tracker. But this is, I believe this is an endurance. I think you recover some health, but I don't think all after you finish. Yeah, all characters begin the journey with their starting HP and MP set to their maximum values. All characters' threat values begin at 0. HP, MP, and threat are not reset after an encounter is completed. Traveling in such an inhospitable place wears your party down. The necessity to be on guard at all times means that there are few opportunities for characters to rest and manage the constant accumulation of corruption that the Shattered Waste has on them. So you are going to be playing this game as an endurance match. There will be places for you to rest, but I think that's going to be like one. It's going to be like Slay the Spire, right? Where you're just kind of pushing through, trying to stay alive until you can get to a place where you can recover, but you won't recover fully. You'll recover some because you're walking in the Shattered Waste, gaining corruption as you go, and trying your best not to succumb to it. So does that make sense? Like, hopefully I did a good showing of this. I probably made 10 billion bajillion mistakes because I'm managing 3 characters. If you want to play this game solo, you have to play two-handed. So there's no true solo to this game, but you get a lot of options from the characters that you can play. If you back the Kickstarter, you'll get these lovely foil cards with them, right? Lovely foil. It's the same thing. Don't feel like they're different art. It's the same art. It's just foil. But you get a lot of characters that you get to choose from to play. It's 1 to 4 player. It's fully co-op. There are the drafting ability for you to survive and get like new abilities, and every single time you play. I think that was the thing that I was saying makes it more of a Steve game, because every time you play, your abilities are different. They're never the same. And so you have to go through all these different decks, right? And you're not pulling like 13 cards. At max you might pull 5. So, and there are some cards that make you recycle, some cards that say nope, you're stuck with that card for the entirety of the fight. It's just all that's set up on it. Anyway, I think this is a cool game. I think this is a very cool game. So I don't know. You let me know what you think. You let me know if you like it. Like I said, if I didn't do the best showing, I apologize for that for sure. But I think it's a really interesting concept and interesting game. And if the developer decides to expand on that game any further, I think it just is a plus. So it seems cool. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. You did a fantastic. Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, it was. I think that's the thing. It was the. Yeah, I think that was the thing. It was maintaining 3 characters for me is hard. For you, for the people who could run Arkham forehand, like one person running four-handed, this game was nothing. You got this. But for me, I think 2 players would have been a better showing. However, I just wanted to show you 3 so you can see how they fought. With 2 players, instead of it being 3 each, it would have been 2 each, right? So that's a total of what, 4 cards in there. So instead of 6, which would have gotten him shattered a lot faster as you were playing through and going through the fight. But he would have been hitting a lot harder, and he would have threaded out in a lot of areas. I run AH 3-handed. I'm too new for 4. 3-handed is pro. That is pro level, man. 4-handed is god level, but 3-handed is pro level. So, but yeah, that's it. Let's head back up to top. If I can find the button. Okay. Yeah, but that was Encounter Shattered Waste. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I think the game's fun, like I said. I'm probably going to bring this game to Gen Con so people can try it out, because hearing me fumble and vomit through this game might not be the best displaying of it. But I probably might try to bring this game to Gen Con. And if I do, people can try it on the Saturday all-day game day and see how they do and see what they think of the game, if it's fun or not. I'm surprised you didn't get the custom dice. I forgot my crits. Otherwise, I did not know there were custom dice. That's probably why I didn't get them, Chris. I didn't know they existed. Yeah, so I might bring this game to Gen Con. I'll see. And have the people who come to the Saturday event, if they're interested, give it a try, and they can give their opinion on what they think. I don't think I'll set them up again. I may set them up against the Guardian, but this one is very easy. But I want to try it against the Harvester and see what people think. And if they like that, then they're probably going to be sold on the game. Anyway, if this is something that was of interest to you, Ryan Farmer was the dev of this. So Ryan, great job, and hopefully you enjoyed this playthrough. That's going to be all for today. Pac-Man's back, so Thursday is going to be Primal once again, and then Sunday is Arkham Horror with Cynthia and Kate. Then I think I have one more stream on Tuesday, and then I'm off to Gen Con. So I say anyone at the LGS the other day I recommended to come play with you guys on the set. Awesome! Woo! Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. If not, let me know and I'll bring mine to Gen Con. I only have the plebeian version though. Chris, bring yours. I'm flying, so I'm worried that I will already be rushing through the airport, and Charlotte Airport is hot trash. So bring your copy if you're driving, Chris, and I can set it up and teach y'all to play, or we can teach everyone to play. And bring the regular version. I mean, all this acrylic just adds weight. So bring it Saturday. Yeah, bring it, Chris. And so Chris will bring it, and I will teach y'all how to play. Until then, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, which I've said the 5th time already. And I will see you all Thursday for Primal. Until then, I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Bye, everybody.